Wisconsin's going to be in a 4-4-2 today with a diamond in that midfield. We see Maya Sella is going to be in that holding midfield spot. Her role has expanded a lot this year with Victoria Pickett being out and has just done so well. Their entire back line, Cameron Pukowski, Defender of the Year, is going to have a big game tonight. She's so fit, going to be up and down those flanks.
Take a look at the starting lineup for the Purdue Boilermakers. They start 7 sophomores, 3 freshmen, and 1 junior.
They're a young team, but they've been so good this season. They also are going to be in a 4-4-2, but a little bit different formation. You see Sidney Sparks in the back line, a freshman, but playing like a 4-year veteran. She has 2 goals on the season, and will also have to have a big game tonight.
Drew Roth in his 5th season as the head coach at Purdue. He knew the Big Ten well, played at Michigan State with Damon Rancine, wanted to get back to the Big Ten after 6 amazing years at Illinois State. Paula Wilkins, 7-time Big Ten Coach of the Year, 10-0-1. Only a tie against Iowa prevented them from going 11-0-0, 13 amazing seasons as the Wisconsin head coach, one of the best coaches in the country. There is the Wisconsin huddle. You see number 15, the Big Ten Forward of the Year, Danny Rhodes, and amazingly, including Paula, plus 10 players, 11 Badgers recognized in some form for all Big Ten recognition.
It's phenomenal to have that many players recognized. It's a team that has come together. It was a team effort to win the Big Ten championship for a regular season, and just a great effort by everyone on the field, headlined by Danny Rhodes. She's going to have a big game tonight, going to be in front of the goal. Anything that drops into the 18, she's going to make something dangerous happen on the other end.
Last year, Purdue started 8 freshmen, 2 sophomores, and a senior. This year, 7 sophomores, 3 freshmen, and just a junior, led by Skylar Patrick, who we've also seen at times play left back and just run the entire team from that left back position. She's back at the left center back spot in tandem with Sidney Sparks. You've got 3 sophomores and a freshman across the back line and a sophomore goalkeeper. 2019 Big Ten Tournament quarterfinal action on the Big Ten Network. We'll do live look-ins quite a bit around the Big Ten as all 4 games going on. Iowa and Penn State just getting underway. Maryland and Michigan, and we can tell you that Rutgers, courtesy of an own goal from Indiana, already leading the Indiana Hoosiers, as Rutgers would like nothing more than to be able to stay home as Yersack Field, Piscataway, New Jersey, will host the semifinals and finals Friday and Sunday of the 2019 Big Ten Tournament. Can't wait to join you there in Piscataway. The Big Ten Goalkeeper of the Year, Jordan Bloomer, over to Grace Douglas. Douglas, a redshirt junior, alongside her fellow redshirt junior Claire Shea with that Zlatan Ibrahimovic goal in that win over Northwestern just beyond midfield. What a strike for Claire Shea, and what a way to open our show today on the Big Ten Network. How about that bomb from Claire Shea as a center back? Are you kidding me?
It was an absolute bomb. She just got her head up in the middle of the field, and Coach Paula said she's been dying to get a goal like that her whole career, and why not? With a foot like that, just such a great goal.
Claire Shea, 3rd team All Big Ten. In that back line, Cameron Pukowski, the Big Ten Defender of the Year. Macy Monticello made the Big Ten freshman team. And of course, Jordan Bloomer, the Big Ten Goalkeeper of the Year. Only Grace Douglas didn't get recognized for the role she plays, and it's a good one. Purdue keeping it on the ground. Shea is beat at the moment. Purdue, little bump there from Shea though, and Bloomer, such quick feet. Don't be surprised at any time to see Bloomer outside of the 18 helping out. Very athletic goalkeeper, Hannah Davison.
She is. She's so good. She's been so powerful and athletic coming off her line, and she's gained so much confidence this season. Coming off the line can sometimes be a little scary for a goalkeeper, but she just comes out and cleans it up. Just like here, Purdue looks like they're going to be dangerous, but Shea just gets a little bit of a bump, and Jordan has no problem coming and clearing that ball out of danger.
Shea not panicking at all. And saw Wood just a tad off her line. Your former goalkeeper, Mackenzie Wood, and under the crossbar and in. It was the 2nd consecutive game where Wood kind of knew that it was in, but they played on. They used VAR to determine that it was a good 3 feet over the line, as some crazy bounces outside there. Thank goodness for VAR, because it was not called live. And neither was the goal that came against her against the Minnesota Golden Gophers. That was not called live. They needed VAR to double check it.
I know, maybe they need to check those goalposts. I'll take no funny bounce against my Northwestern Wildcats.
It'll be a free kick opportunity for Wisconsin. Lauren Rice, 3rd team All Big Ten. She's very much a key part of this. She could have easily been 1st team All Big Ten or 2nd team All Big Ten. Kind of shows the quality of all of the teams. Particularly, and I really liked you speaking up for Skylar Patrick, who will have to feature even on these free kick opportunities. Let's see what Rice does. Flicked out of there. Shea will reset it. She'll square it. Monticello, that Big Ten all-freshman team. Headed out of there by Purdue. Picked back up. Monticello again. Monticello, pretty good ball. Rhodes touch, gets away from her. Won it back for a second. Now Purdue has it. In many ways, as I look at what Purdue has done under Drew Roth, who is an outstanding coach, what he did at Illinois State, he won 6 conference titles, took his team to 5 NCAA tournaments. They beat Louisville in the NCAA tournament during his time at Illinois State. And they're also building for the future, as we talked about the fact that they're not starting any seniors in this game. 7 sophomores, 3 freshmen. Well, that's what Paul Wilkins did 2-3 years ago to be ready for this moment.
Absolutely, get these experiences early on, and they're doing a great job. They're starting 7 sophomores tonight, so they've grown and matured even from last year's experience, being on the field. And exactly what you said, Wisconsin has done that. Sometimes it takes a few years to build, but by the time these girls are juniors and seniors, they're going to be so confident on the field and have so many leaders out there.
There is Drew Roth, as we told you earlier, played for Joe Baum at Michigan State, played with Damon Renzi, the fine head coach of the Michigan State men's soccer team. And I think he may have played 1 year, or was actually recruited, perhaps rather, by Tom Saxton, the head coach of the Michigan State women's soccer team. Sent in 1 bounce. No problem there for Marissa Bova, who twice this year was named the Big Ten Goalkeeper of the Week. Just a sophomore from Heartland, Wisconsin's got good size, good shot stopper, pretty athletic, can get low or high. She's a solid goalkeeper as well. She
is, has a huge physical presence in the goal, and she might be young, but she's starting to develop into such a good leader and organizer in the back line. She's great with her feet. She's very mobile, given her large frame, which isn't an easy thing to do, to get low and then be able to jump back up and save another goal. So she's just doing so well, and definitely went a little bit under the radar this year, but just great potential in the coming years.
Marissa Bova, sophomore from Heartland, Wisconsin.
Who's just a huge physical presence in the air. To get this ball, just get a chance and maybe get something on it early on.
3 fouls already for Purdue. Claire Shea keeps it on the ground. Right into the 3-player wall for Purdue. Picked off by Purdue, as Purdue will try to go the other way. Julia Ware, sophomore from Frisco, Texas. The Sharp was a year ago. Both now members of the Chicago Red Stars, runner-ups in the NWSL. A fantastic season for Chicago Red Stars. Congratulations, by the way. Job well done.
Thank you very much.
Murtha, she was recognized for her play, which was so well deserved. Pukowski coming forward. It'll drop back. Sella. Pukowski again. Quick little touch over for Wisconsin. The Badgers dangerous. Cameron Murtha. Murtha with Skylar Patrick. And it'll go off Skylar Patrick. Number 25, Cameron Murtha, the junior from Kensington, Maryland. What quality she brings in combination with Danny Rhodes.
Their combination up top is what has allowed Wisconsin to be so successful. She has a big, strong physical presence, and she'll just get her head down, dribble down at everybody, and uses her body very well, bodies defenders up.
Rice, that was a planned play as they went right at the top of the 18. And you know what else, Hannah Davison? The emergence of Murtha, who they pushed up, she had played in the back, played in the midfield, has allowed them to drop Lauren Rice back. So maybe Lauren Rice doesn't have those pinball machine numbers, but Lauren Rice has been so good in the middle of the field. She's got one of those engines that you just love. Talking about Rice, she'll go all day, and that's allowed Murtha and Rhodes to combine up top as Paula Wilkins pushing all the right buttons after Victoria Pickett went down, the Canadian. The word is Pickett's going to be back next year. The foul there on Rhodes and a dangerous free kick here for Purdue. These are big moments for Purdue because they can take their time, try to set up. They know, based on the fact that 10 Wisconsin players made all Big Ten, they're overmatched, but you score on a free kick, anything can happen.
Absolutely, and just as they start this game, Wisconsin likes to get their outside back so far up the field because of that diamond in the midfield. It allows for so much space on the outside. So if you're Purdue early on, you want to get numbers forward, test them early, and play more direct and get them in behind so that the Wisconsin outside backs maybe are a little bit more hesitant getting forward and need to stay back to deal with those balls being played in behind, which is exactly what Purdue has done in their first few attacks here.
Sidney Sparks slips on the McClymonds Soccer Stadium surface, and Wisconsin will try to go over the top. They have scored a lot of goals where they get it over the top. Danny Rhodes stays with it, just kind of like she did right there, as Bova's clearance goes off of Danny Rhodes. Danny Rhodes, 11 goals as a sophomore, 10 last year, and with that goal against the Ohio State Buckeyes, she got 11 again. As she keeps climbing the ladder, she's in a tie for 4th place in school history with 36 career goals. And with 11 goals this year, she needs one more to move into 8th place in school history for most goals in a single season.
I mean, that says it all. It's just so impressive, her resume. And she just continues to put herself in great scoring positions. Even there, just blocking a shot. She's such an opportunistic finisher and can really do it all. She can dribble at you. She can fire shots from out far. She scores with her head, with her feet.
Good little turn there by Sarah Griffith. Sarah Griffith has scored some good goals this year. A really nice one against Maryland, as that one will roll out of bounds. Not able to
standing alone. They got the ball to her, but maybe just a little bit more speed or find the forward in front of her. But I like what Purdue is doing. They know where the space is to exploit, and they've been doing a good job keeping possession.
Here comes Purdue again. On it now. Melky. Allie Melky. Melky and Melchiori in combination have been pretty good. That's Rembimbis. Melky. This Purdue team does not seem, despite all this youth, they don't seem nervous. They don't seem like they're not ready. They don't seem like they're intimidated. None of that.
And I think that's what's nice about coming in as the 8th seed and maybe a young team is that the pressure is really all on Wisconsin. You come in and you're the underdogs. No one's expecting you to come in and win this game. So all the pressure is on Wisconsin, and Purdue can just relax, play their game, and have a little bit of fun.
Here's a shot from distance, and Bloomer will spill it. So they're having a little fun. First shot today, Maya Lambert from distance, dials into it, and this little spillage almost led to a goal, and the goalkeeper of the year not able to bring it in. Probably should have been caught by Bloomer. Instead, it's a corner kick.
It is. That's coming in fast, and that's a hard one to catch, and I don't think Jordan Bloomer was really expecting her to shoot from that far out, but if you have that type of range, why not go ahead early and try to get something there?
Good look there at Drew Roth. This team's believing. Short corner will give Purdue a chance for a throw-in. Really nice shot there from Lambert, who was a late addition starting for Sydney Duarte. Not totally sure about the health of Duarte. We are expecting to see her, but not guaranteed. As usual, this time of the year, all kinds of bumps and bruises. Hannah, you remember how your body felt about this time of the year, particularly as it got colder, a little extra care, right?
Absolutely. You're always banged up a little bit at the end of the season, but that's why it's so important to take care of your body. All the recovery steps are so essential when you get to this point, and you just hope that the excitement and adrenaline of being in the Big Ten tournament helps you push through some of those aches and pains.
Well said. We are almost halfway through the first half here of the 2019 quarterfinal. Number 1 seed Wisconsin hosting the number 8 seed Purdue. They had to sit back and see what happened. If Wisconsin decided that they were going to rest their players and not bring their full team against Lori Walker Hawks Buckeyes, Lori Walker Hawks, she had tied that game up. The Buckeyes are a dangerous team, as you know, as we've seen Ms. Fisher score some amazing goals for Ohio State, but give Paula Wilkins credit. She put out her full team out there on Wednesday in a makeup game. My point of saying that is by beating Ohio State, Paula Wilkins' team then got Purdue in. That's what happened. Claire Shea over the ball. Long ball in, little flick. Still loose. Claire Shea, she can bomb it in. Now this challenge whistled against Wisconsin.
A little bit of a just a 50-50 ball. Looks like Macy Monticello just maybe gets under the Purdue defender a little bit too much, and it's a hard call to make when you go into those 50-50 aerial challenges especially.
Monticello does have an assist, the freshman from Arlington, Virginia. There's another long ball, but right to Marissa Bova, who wasn't off her line, was inside the 6, just a couple yards right in front. Wearing the double 4s. Headed away there by Monticello. One back in the midfield by Emma Jaskinak. Danny Rhodes. Rhodes can make things happen on the outside. Read perfectly by Purdue. Picked back up. And now played behind. Purdue can't get it by Claire Shea. Shea, you gotta wonder what's going through her mind now after scoring that goal against your Northwestern Wildcats. As she crosses midfield and takes a look, who knows? As we compared it to the first game that Zlatan Ibrahimovic played for the LA Galaxy, similar, cross midfield, kind of bounced up and swap with all kinds of swizzle and swerve and in the back of the net. And here's what was the best thing about that Shea goal was the way her teammates responded. You talk about just all kinds of love and adoration for Claire Shea. Paula Wilkins talking about it this week. They absolutely adore her as a teammate.
They did. You could see how happy not only Shea but her teammates, because that goal not only won the Big Ten outright, but that was Claire's first collegiate goal, which not a bad one at that. Very exciting. Could be up for the ball on the ground and try to build and keep possession, because they're a team that Paula Wilkins attributed to. They came in super fit, one of the most fit teams that she's coached. So to use that fitness level and move the game quickly, move the ball quickly, and keep Purdue chasing, I think they're letting Purdue off the hook a little bit, trying to play these balls in behind.
Back to Shea again. Wisconsin with 3 shots to 1 for Purdue. Both teams have 1 shot each on goal. Cameron Bukowski. Pukowski, the kind of right back where you cannot dive in on her because she'll beat you. And you saw the respect right there from the Purdue defense. Sella. Maya Sella making a run here. Sella down near the end line. Back over to Murtha. Trying to find an opening shot, but right to Bova. The shot coming from the freshman Emma Jaskinak.
And that was such great vision by Murtha to just, she gets the ball, she's inside the box, maybe you can turn and shoot, but just sees Emma Jaskinak at the top of the box, and one time tries to get that into the back of the net, but much better combination play there by Wisconsin in the final third.
Cameron Murtha, 6 goals and 4 assists.
And we'll do a lot of running up top for Purdue's offense.
To Huffman Estates High School, so one of the rare seniors that gets quality time. Anna Shabanovic, keep an eye on her because she's a poacher. Turning, and a save by Bova. Bova with that great height and athleticism. Excellent turn here coming for Wisconsin by Jaskinak.
Just great awareness. She knows where she is, that she knows she has a little bit of time and space to turn and get a shot off, and Just has to make a really good save to tip that over the crossbar. Great look by Emma Jaskinek.
Rice, left foot. Shea turning. Rice. Pukowski. Cleared out of there by Purdue.
And like we said, we haven't been able to say Danny Rhodes' name too much tonight because Skylar Patrick is doing a good job screening any passes that they're looking to get into Danny Rhodes' feet.
Rhodes keeping it on the carpet, trying to find Murtha. Knocked out of bounds there by Sidney Sparks. Sarah Griffith has gone to the bench for Drew Roth. Pukowski, as you see Verdugo coming in for Wesley. As Paula Wilkins told us, we would see, in fact, Verdugo get some minutes, and we will also see Vigiano at some point. Good run right along the end line, but Bova will handle it.
Another really dangerous chance by Wisconsin. Lauren Rice just does a shifty, crafty move to get end line, looks up and slots this. Maybe could have found Murtha making a run at the top of the 6, but that's what I want to see from Wisconsin, being a little bit more patient, taking them end line and then finding those slotted balls back across the top of the box. That's where Danny Rhodes has been very dangerous this season, just delaying her run and getting on the back shoulder of defenders and just getting a little bit of a toe poke to get that ball into the back of the net.
Lauren Rice, junior from Noblesville, Indiana. She and Danny Rhodes last year. In fact, the first couple years, such a great combination up top, but then Lauren Rice making the commitment to Paula Wilkins to shore up that diamond in midfield, sliding back. She always looks like she could play 5 games in a day, Lauren Rice. Always with a smile on her face, ready to go. Here's Murtha, good turn. Get it wide, Verdugo. Good move by Verdugo, stays with it. Weapon off the bench, Pukowski. Right back to Verdugo. Deflection. Handled there by Sella. Almost turnover there coming from Monticello, but Monticello stays with it and then hits it too long. So really, Hannah Davidson, with 7:30 remaining here in the first, if you're Purdue, you're feeling pretty good about how you're doing with the #1 seed in the Big Ten.
Absolutely. I would be very pleased if I was Drew Roth with how his team is playing and the energy that they just brought to this game today. They've been really haven't had their heels on much. They've been going at it. They've been high pressing. They've been in these 50-50 tackles. The only thing they are lacking right now is being efficient in front of the goal. But they've been solid defensively, shutting down Danny and Cameron's combinations up top. So hats off to them. They came to play today.
Pukowski over to Murtha. Now Rhodes. Good job by Purdue to knock it out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick.
This is a great buildup by Wisconsin. Just a little bit of in and out. They find Danny Rhodes, and you can see she gets her head up to try to maybe get that cross. Maybe can even get a shot there, but Skylar Patrick again there to shut her down.
Lauren Rice. Headed. And it'll go out of bounds. Coming into the game, Jordan McNeese. Paula Wilkins, high praise for her work off the bench. Cameron Murtha, well-deserved rest here for the final 6 minutes. Expect to see her back out there to start the second half. Verdugo comes in hard, and she'll be whistled for the foul. mentioned Drew Roth played with Damon Rensing at Michigan State. Damon Rensing tuning in, pulling for his former teammate as the Spartans get ready to take on Indiana, as Indiana hoping to clinch the Big Ten on the men's side, the way Paula Wilkins in Wisconsin did it all on the women's side. Just a little bit too far for Purdue, who are starting to make better runs, finding the right spaces, making some pretty good seams, and both teams going pretty deep here as Jenna Corrali, who, by the way, when these two teams met in the regular season, it should be no surprise as we look at this scoreline. It was a goal from Corrali, the only goal of the game, to give. This is dangerous here. Purdue can score right here. Bloomer with a big save. Flag was up anyway. So offside on Purdue.
Purdue really trying to get this goal before half. They have such great energy. Anna's just, it's a close call. The ref is going to call her offsides, but that was a really good timed run, maybe an inch or two offside. But I love the energy Purdue's giving to get a goal before half. They've been pushing this entire half, just been in Wisconsin's end line.
It may take another goal from Jenna Corrali, who scored her first career goal for the Badgers to give Wisconsin that 1-0 win over Purdue. Jordan McNeese pushes to the ground. Referee says play on. Purdue, with every second that passes, more belief that they can get it done. Played into space. Just a little bit too strong as Shabanagic can't quite run it down. We're down to 3 minutes. Here's the thing, whether it was offside or not, guess who was ready for it? The Big Ten goalkeeper of the year was ready to make the save anyway, and in fact did.
She was. She quickly got to that near post space and made herself big, made the goal look really small for Enna, and had no problem picking that ball up and securing it.
Attorney with it is Rice. Rice. Verdugo. Now Pukowski. Verdugo not on the same page there, and Skylar Patrick knocks it out of bounds. Skylar Patrick is the boss of that back line, that's for sure.
She is. She's the leader in that back line, and she's been seen at a couple different positions this year because Purdue likes to move her around and just neutralize the most dangerous player on the field. So sometimes that might be at outside back or even higher up the field. They like to get her man marking that dangerous attacking player of the opposing team, and she's done a great job in all the games this season as well as tonight, shutting down Danny and Cameron up top.
Pukowski has it knocked out of bounds. It'll be a throw in back to Wisconsin. This first half flying along. Stay with us at halftime. We'll look in on the 3 other Big Ten quarterfinal games going on in the 2019 Big Ten Women's Soccer Tournament. As we told you earlier, Rutgers, courtesy of an own goal from Indiana, hoping to knock off the Hoosiers. Congratulations to Erwin Van Bennekom and getting Indiana into the Big Ten tournament in his first year. That's a pretty good job. And obviously Paula Wilkins won Coach of the Year, but you start to look at it, I mean, Dave Diani getting Iowa right back in there, the job that Erwin Van Bennekom did. Here comes Purdue trying to get one, and they did. Purdue believing, and UE said it. Anna Shabanagic with the goal. It's 1-0 Boilermakers.
And you just kind of had that energy. You felt like they were going to get something on net because of the energy they brought this half. And Anna bringing great energy off the bench. She was a total spark. And Skylar Patrick starting this one off. She has great vision to get her head up and sees Ali Musalam on that flank. And Anna just does a great job using the inside of her foot to just send that to the back of the net. Just a phenomenal effort by Anna. That's a hard angle to score at, and she gets her foot on it and sends it to the right side of the net to unbalance Jordan Bloomer, the Big Ten goalkeeper of the year. Not an easy person to score on, but a great effort to get that goal before half.
You think about a team that doesn't start any seniors, a team that is loaded with so many youngsters, and of course it would be a senior that would put Purdue up on the road as Shea will knock it forward, hanging around. And a mini shocker here in Madison. I feel like if you ask Drew Roth, he may not be shocked at all the way Purdue's come out and played this one.
Exactly, you could just feel the energy was really on Purdue's side this half. They came out strong, they were on the front foot and did not let up that entire half. A very well-deserved goal going into halftime.
How about the Purdue Boilermakers showing some belief? Great pass, quality touch from the senior Anna Shabanagic, a senior from Hanover Park, Illinois, Huffman Estates High School. Brilliant pass by Allie Masellam, and there's the goal scorer right there. Purdue feeling it. As we're joined by the top man in his 5th year, Drew Roth. And Drew, about 20 minutes in, Hannah and I looked at each other and were like, this young Purdue team, they don't look scared, they look ready, and you got a 1-0 lead, Coach. You must be pleased.
Yeah, very happy with how we're defending, and obviously, you know, getting that goal at that time, at that moment in the game was huge. But you know, with a team like Wisconsin, you got to keep your shape. You got to defend as a unit, and you have to be disciplined and recognize when you get your chances, you got to take advantage of them. Skylar Patrick started that play coming out of the back, and we need somebody to give us a little spark there. That's what she does, and brilliant cross by Ali Musalam, and then great finish by Anna Sabanagic. So definitely happy with that, but they're going to come out on fire. Wisconsin is the first 15 minutes, so a lot of soccer left to play, so we got to get ready.
Exactly, and with Wisconsin coming out, they're going to be looking for that goal. Is there any changes that you're going to be making, or the message to your team going into the second half to be ready for that?
A couple small adjustments. You know, there's a couple things I think we could do a little bit better. A couple details that we need to be aware of, but for the most part, you know, we kind of know what they like to do, and you know, we're going to try to stop it. But we're going to have our hands full. They're a great team, and you know, they won the league for a reason. So we got our work cut out, but love what our group is doing, and we're going to fight to the very end, and hope to keep them off the board. Yeah,
you got good reasons to love it. They look good. Thanks for being with us, Drew. We appreciate you.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, there's the goal scorer, Anna Shabanagic. What a quality goal. They don't have many seniors, but this senior, big-time finish. Perhaps a shocker in line as the number 8 seed Purdue leads the number 1 seed Wisconsin 1-0. Claire Shea, part of the comments from Paula Wilkins, the center back, directing traffic, and like a little adversity here as the number 1 seed. A lot of celebration, right? They were waiting for the right time for the t-shirts and hats. They actually did the presentation of the t-shirts and hats and the trophy in the locker room rather on your former field, but a big celebration indeed. Then went out and beat a very hungry Ohio State team that needed to knock off Wisconsin to get in the Big Ten tournament. But this young Purdue team that came in here starting 7 sophomores, 3 freshmen, and a junior, of course, used the goal from a senior, and they lead at 1-0.
They did. Wisconsin had a very impressive Big Ten season, and they've carried that into the game a little bit. You see sparks of how good all these individual players are individually, but coming together as a team. But Purdue just came in with so much energy, has been on the front foot, and didn't let up the whole half. But Wisconsin coming in, they're a group of veteran players. They won. The Wildcats were up 1-0 heading into that delay, and Penn State ended up coming up on top, but just really hard to play in some of these locations where the field is not the best, especially given some bad weather.
Little deflection. Bova is ready for it. All right, on the other side, if you're Drew Roth, the top man at Purdue, I certainly liked his comments. What do you think his message is, knowing that Wisconsin, they're going to bring it, right? They got a lot of pride as the #1 seed.
I think you do look to play a little bit more conservative in the second half. You can maybe drop another player into that back line, and you just have to tell them you need to stay patient. You got to keep the ball. Don't allow for some mental lapse in the back line, which he touched on last time they played Wisconsin. They did well. They looked good in stretches of the game, but just had too many mental lapses that allowed Wisconsin to capitalize. And that game was also just 1-0, but Wisconsin on the other end of it. So I think you just need to be calm and patient, not give away anything too silly.
There's a foul by Melky.
Melchiori just trying to drop back, steps in front, gets too much body. Probably can stay on her feet and just continue to push her wide. I don't think she has to go down there and cause that foul.
Allie Melky wearing number 9, doubling up at 18 is Hannah Melchiori from Canada. And here is Shea. Paula Wilkins talking about her ability to start the offense. Douglas heads it down. Jaskinek gets a piece of it. Shea comes forward, touches it back in, and cleared by Purdue. Picked back up. Pukowski's going to take a shot, but that'll be well over the crossbar. No problem for Bova.
A service that was poorly cleared by Purdue's back line. Cameron gets on the end of it, looks up, and has a little bit of time and space to get a shot off.
I feel like that smile says it all. Jim Schneiderhan came with them from Illinois State as that's punched out of there, and so did Katie Greenberg, the former outstanding goalkeeper for Lori Walker Hawk and the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Deny Wisconsin from playing balls in behind, but also deny them from going up the middle. They need to be so disciplined, and Wisconsin is a very opportunistic team, so they need to have good clearances, because that's exactly where Wisconsin can be dangerous. And
Murtha, great ball! Wide open! Murtha dropping it to Jaskinek, who really had the near post on her side. Wide open. What a ball from Murtha.
This is exactly what I was just talking about. They're such an opportunistic team. They get end line, they look across, and maybe can slot that, and oh, she's all alone at that back post. Purdue must have lost the runner in the box, and just a little bit of a missed touch, it goes wide, but she was all alone at that back post, ready to slot that one in.
Jaskinek does have 2 goals and an assist on the season, so she knows how to put it in the back of the net. Just that time, I don't know exactly what happened. Just mishit it, I guess. 3 shots today.
Just a little bit of excitement. Sometimes when you're in that situation, you need to watch the ball come down all the way until it makes contact with your foot, and just a little bit of a missed touch sends that one wide. She's going to want that one back.
See if she'll get another shot as Jaskinek earning the throw-in. If you remember our first half highlights, it was Jaskinek twice on the shots. Now it's her 3rd one. Oh my, just mishit it. That's all you can say. Went off, looked like her ankle above her shoe and not on frame.
It was just super unfortunate play. Go on.
Peyton Wesley. Sent back across, looking for Rhodes. They've kept an eye on Rhodes so far. Rice keeps it alive. Bova gets low. Murtha crashing in. Rhodes, Rice, and Murtha, but they still can't get it by Marissa Bova.
And that's the combination play that is so lethal for this Wisconsin offense. But Bova making a really big-time save to keep Wisconsin off the board.
6 saves now for Marissa Bova. Little stumble there. Purdue lucky right there.
Little great last-minute defensive effort to keep that one.
Wisconsin bringing some heat here. Jaskinek playing it into space for Pukowski. Safety first for Purdue. Knocked out of bounds there by Tegan Jones. Remember, 7 subs in the first half for Drew Roth and the Purdue Boilermakers. Don't be surprised if you see 7 more here in the second half when they can re-enter as well. So he'll use them in spurts to try to hang on here. 21:30 remaining, and that score is correct. 1-0 Purdue. Here's that chance from Wisconsin moments ago.
Wisconsin gets a great service in. It kind of is all over the place. A couple of players getting on it. Lauren Rice takes a shot, and Cameron Murtha ultimately getting the ball on target. But Bova coming up with a huge save. She gets low, she secures the ball, and does not let that get by her.
Good little touch. Shot from distance. Looking to find Rhodes. That shot dialed up there by Vigiano. As Vigiano and Sella in there, Monticello on the bench as they go 3 in the back, add more attacking options. 10 minutes and 35 seconds remaining here in regulation. Wisconsin looking to try to find the equalizer. They get it out wide. Sent in, 1 bounce, and again, no problem for Bova, who will take as much time as she's legally allowed, and maybe then a little more.
It's all about game management now for the Boilermakers, which is something that Bova hasn't had too much experience with, and maybe only part of her game that needs a little bit of improvement. So tonight will be great for her to grow in that area and gain some more experience of being in a big game and being able to hold on to the league.
Douglas sends it back in. Flick from Murtha. And it'll run out of bounds before Peyton Wesley can run it down. Well, it's worth talking about again. From the very beginning, Purdue, of course, they always have the game plan of getting players in a ton, particularly second half. You'll see players come back in. As Melchiori started the second half, she's right back in there. But more than anything, just and swagger's not the right word, because you don't have a swagger when you just sneak in, but confidence is the right word, and belief this Purdue team had.
Belief is the right word for sure. They just came in and they did not look scared or timid and just came up on this front foot. It was giving Wisconsin problems right from the start. They've been using a lot of subs to keep fresh legs because Wisconsin is a team that's known for their fitness, and it's worked out for them. They have not let their foot off the gas, even being up 1-0 with a few minutes left. They've still been in Wisconsin's defensive half and just doing such a good job and being so confident out there as a team of youngsters, is excited. Hopefully can hold on to this and head into the semifinal of the Big Ten tournament.
I don't feel like it has anything to do with Wisconsin, you know, the proverbial hangover, right, from celebrating and feeling good about yourself. I don't feel like it's that at all. I mean, it's not like Wisconsin has been bad. Purdue just has been ready, I think is the best way to say it.
I agree. I think Wisconsin is a very impressive team. All the players on their team are just phenomenal. They work together very well, and I think the game plan for Purdue is just being executed perfectly. They're shutting down their top 2, and when you do that, you have to be able to problem solve on the field if you're Wisconsin and find somewhere else to go, because Danny Rhodes is being screened by the Purdue defenders, so maybe you need to go in to out first. Or
here we go, good bending around, finds Murtha, still loose, punched out of there by Bova. Douglas was also lurking in there, so was Pukowski, still loose, picked back up, heavy touch from Rice, and for a moment, Bova was a little bit in nowhere land, but Wisconsin not able to tie it up.
And that's exactly what I mean. Maybe capitalizing on a set piece, the ball's bouncing around. You see so many white jerseys trying to get something on it at the end. Bova off of her line.
Pukowski was right there. If she could just get her head on it, Hannah. There's Murtha. I just keep finding myself looking at the clock more than ever, knowing what Purdue is trying to accomplish here. First time since 2014, the 8 seed could beat the 1 seed, but not just any old 1 seed, a 1 seed that went 10-0-1. Wisconsin with 14 shots. Little clip from behind there, as perhaps a little bit of frustration there from Rhodes. Paula Wilkins, your well-deserved Big Ten Coach of the Year here on her home field.
They've had such an impressive season and a big unbeaten streak that all streaks at some point come to an end. So maybe a little bit of nervousness coming from the players on the field as this clock seems to be counting down rather quickly in the second half for Wisconsin.
Skylar Patrick, the referee. Little message for Skylar Patrick, definitely running the show back there. Clock is stopped. Officially, we can tell you it's 6:34 remaining. Be a throw in for Wisconsin. Paula Wilkins gives a lot of credit to Tim Rosenfeld, associate head coach, as well as Marissa Kresge, assistant coach, part of that coaching staff for the Badgers. Sella took a little break, got right back in there. Sella, Bova, and that's what you got to do, right? You got to fall down on everything, take your time, make sure your team gets set. Perhaps Drew Roth would tell her you could take a few more seconds off if you feel like it. Shea did well to win the first one. Douglas plays it forward. Cleaned up, though, by Purdue. They make a great pass forward. Now Purdue into space. It's going to open up. There's only 3 in the back. Here come the Boilermakers. Melchiori dancing with it. Around Shea, deflected, and then picked up by Bloomer. Shabanagic was also up there looking for the brace.
She was, and that's what you're going to see from Purdue when Wisconsin goes to a 3-back. That's going to expose a lot of spaces in that back line. So those quick transition moments, if Purdue can not only stop Wisconsin, but then keep it and find those forward options, they're going to have some dangerous chances in these last few minutes as Wisconsin continues to push numbers forward.
Now, Shabanagic, did you play against her at all? Did you coach her, or what was your association with her, being from the general area?
Me and Anna played on Eclipse together, so our club team for several years. We actually started on a different club and transferred to a different club the same year, and then got to play against her in the Big Ten, and just a great competitor, brings great energy to any team that she's on.
4 minutes and change, and there's one way to approach this for Drew Roth. If they can hang on, they can pretend business as usual, or perhaps it can be some unbridled enthusiasm, knocking off a top 10 team in the country and the #1 seed. Rhodes can change it in a flash, though. Rhodes finally able to get around Skylar Patrick, and down she goes, not quite able with the equalizer.
Danny with an opportunity here, gets a foot on it. Skylar Patrick, though, is there again, clips Danny's leg. A little bit of frustration, a little bit of a knock there by Skylar Patrick, but what a chance to be able to tie this game up for Wisconsin.
Well, we mentioned Victoria Pickett being out for the season. Danny Rhodes didn't practice at all preseason, hardly at all. She was dealing with some hip issues, and I don't think she had a full week of practice yet. She hasn't missed a game, but certainly early on, Paula Wilkins was saying she wasn't sure what she was going to get out of Danny Rhodes. Well, she got 11 goals, and she got a Big Ten Forward of the Year performance out of her.
She is. She's just been outstanding. Definitely have to be pleased if you're Paula Wilkins with her performance this season. Has just been unstoppable. Been super hard to shut down. She comes out of every game with a goal or an assist, and I think she has 7 game-winning goals this year, which, when you think about it, that's 7 games that the Badgers are coming into. Huge contributor to this unbeaten streak of the Wisconsin Badgers.
So at some point, if not yet, they don't want to jinx themselves, but for sure the Purdue operations staff looking into tickets into Newark, New Jersey, as they're 2 minutes and 30-some seconds away from, I think we can call a surprise appearance in the Big Ten tournament, unless Danny Rhodes can do something about it, but Marissa Bova is there. I can tell you this, Hannah, the last time Purdue won a Big Ten tournament match, you got to go all the way back to 2008 when they had a 2-1 win over the Ohio State Buckeyes.
And they're just going to be itching to get back there then. The energy that this team has brought today has been incredible, and even to this last few minutes of the game, they've been so strong defensively, haven't allowed anything too dangerous to develop in Wisconsin's attack. You just have to be so happy if you're part of this Purdue's team.
Sella making that run. Douglas, little trip, stays with it. Wisconsin doesn't need a whole lot. Headed out of there by Sparks. Sparks almost as tall as Douglas, both center backs. Pukowski, Big Ten Defender of the Year. Plays it forward to Rice. Rice will lose it. Now 90 seconds away for Purdue to shock the #1 and unbeaten in Big Ten play Badgers. Bloomer way outside the box. Bloomer will knock it back in. Little flick coming. Jaskinek, now Murtha. Jaskinek back. Headed again by Sparks. Popping around. 1:14. Still loose. Hard tackle by the Boilermakers. Now Sella. And that won't be good enough. And that will only help Purdue. I don't know, folks. 60 seconds away from Purdue beating the Badgers.
And I don't think anybody thought going into this game that this is how it's going to go. Purdue just coming in with such confidence and have really asserted themselves early on, got that goal in the first half, and have been looking really good in these last few minutes. Very stingy, very steady, clearing anything out of danger. Lots of energy coming from Purdue in these last few minutes.
Well, make no mistake, if they can hang on, it still won't be the worst thing ever for Wisconsin. They'll be able to rest. They're going to get a high seed as they came in #7 in the country. Their RPI is very good. Their schedule was ridiculous. So don't be surprised if they get perhaps even a 2 seed with that extra rest. But it's going to be about Purdue here, I think. 5 seconds remaining. Wisconsin didn't lose a Big Ten game in the regular season. Their final seconds counting down. And the #8 seed, Boilermakers, led by Drew Roth. They shock the Badgers and get a 1-0 win, starting no seniors in the game, but a senior with the goal.
Purdue, you just have to be so happy. This is a great result for the Purdue Boilermakers. Just came in, shocked everybody, and a well-deserved victory over the Wisconsin Badgers.
Wisconsin loaded with the coach of the year, the forward of the year, the defender of the year, the goalkeeper of the year, 10 players, all Big Ten recognition. But as we look at the Discover bracket, it'll be Purdue taking on Penn State, 11 a.m. right here on the Big Ten Network on Friday. Rutgers probably against Michigan. That looks to be your Final Four. That's going to do it from Madison, where Purdue shocks Wisconsin, your #1 seed, 1-0. Coming next on BTN, men's soccer as Indiana takes on Michigan State. Join us on Friday for continued coverage of Big Ten women's soccer. The semifinals start at 11 Eastern. For Hannah Davison and Denny Blunt and our entire broadcast crew, I'm Dean Linke saying so long from Madison.